Hey, my name is Daniel, and welcome to this week's video where I'm looking at another creator who has done incredibly well on LinkedIn. I've dubbed him the king of LinkedIn carousels, and his name is Richard Moore. He's accumulated over 50,000 followers on LinkedIn, and he's even been selected for the Creator Management Program. So he's well worth looking into, and he makes some really good content. And what I want to do today is to show you exactly the type of post that does well on his profile and how you can make a similar post using a free software to create your own carousel. So without any more time, let's get into his post and I'll show you what I mean. Here you'll see Richard's post, and you'll notice that it's very similar to other posts that I have shown from other creators, where he starts off with this really seductive hook and then he goes into value, and then at the end he ends with a call to action. But what makes this post different is how he's incorporated a carousel. So I'm going to scroll down and show you the carousel, but before we do that, I just want to show you how he's presented it so that you can do something very similar. You'll notice here that hanging around on LinkedIn all day is seductive. That's a hook that he has used for this post, and you'll notice something very interesting. He's mentioned LinkedIn, which is the platform we're on, and so instantaneously when you read that, you're going to continue to read, and he's included a very random word that hasn't really been used that often in a LinkedIn context, and so it's one of those words that is going to grab attention immediately. This is a seductive hook. And then you'll see he continues with this value where he breaks it up into two paragraphs. You can see that's a great structure for posts. It's easy to read, it's list format, and you can see how Richard has basically made it that it's almost like a flowing waterfall. The first line is shorter than the next line, which is shorter than the next line, and so it's very easy to read. And then as you scroll down, you'll see that he almost ends off by saying, every day, remember the outcomes you're chasing, and he continues to a point where he's almost calling you to action to look at the carousel. So he says, here are 8 ways to keep that focus on LinkedIn every day. So I'm going to show you exactly why this is such a great post and how this carousel has earned him the right to be the king of LinkedIn carousels. I also have to notice that on every single one of his posts where he's mentioned his carousel, he has always given some shout out to his team. So I'm going to show you exactly how he makes it and how his team helps him, and then you can do that for yourself, and I'll show you in Canva straight after this. So the first thing you're going to notice is how on every page there is a 1 or a 2 or a 3 that shows you how far you are. And then I want to show you as well that he uses color and font interchangeably to make sure that you're always paying attention and that you're always focusing on the core aspects. So he highlights 8 ways and LinkedIn here. That's a great way to get you to continue to read. And then he uses different font sizes so that it's still appealing. And what I love the most is the use of graphics. So you'll see that this graphic has here this this air balloon with a missile at the end, or a rocket ship at the end. It's split between 2 pages, and that almost encourages you to continue reading and to continue swiping. But if that wasn't enough, you'll see in the bottom right of this post that there's actually a call to action where it's encouraging you to continue swiping, whilst at the same time it's drawing, and it's not really too much in your face. It's quite subtle. But in the far left, you'll see that he's branded it with Richard Moore, and at the top right, Richard Moore. So he's protecting this carousel from being used by others. So I'll continue to go through it, and you'll notice as well at the top there's numbers that not just show you the page, but also the steps, because he promised 8 ways to get the most from your time on LinkedIn each day, so you're not wasting it. So there's a value here by reading all 8 ways and going to the full completion of this carousel. So number 1, the big thing you'll notice between each of these different pages is how he has a heading and then he has a short paragraph to explain that. So that's easily replicatable in your own carousel. When you make it, you need to have a heading with one color, and then the next line of that heading in a different one with a short paragraph that isn't bold. Then you'll see that there's a use of different backgrounds. This keeps it interesting. Remember, the goal of a carousel here is to keep your audience engaged, to read the whole thing, to be fully immersed in it. And you can see, as I mentioned with this first one, with this balloon, you can see he's used that with the watch as well. So it's very cool. There's different objects in the foreground. You can see he's elevated the title a bit. He's added an effect so that it's, out of the page a bit. And then you can see, which I love the most here, is how there's a picture of himself here. What's great about that is that it builds instant credibility. There's that almost saying that, you can always trust a man on a stage. It's almost similar to this one. We implicitly will trust when we see some sort of image of authority or someone of confidence. And this one, this picture of Richard is really fantastic, and it outlays that exact saying that I was talking about. And it has a lot of different effects in the background. You can see we've gone back to the normal background we started with. So there's almost a bit of a change here, as well as some other images like this light bulb hanging from the ceiling. You associate light bulbs with great ideas, and so you're going to continue reading this. Now, once again, another image that is quite bright, it's quite unique, and it's split between 2 pages, which once again encourages you to go to the end. And I haven't been going through the content here. I'm sure you're reading as we go on, but I just want to really show you what makes it so visually appealing that will get you to go throughout the entire thing. And once we get to the end here, you're going to see that there's a striking image, and this one is a bit different. It's almost like an ending, and then the last page is the most essential one, because it is a call to action where he summarized what's happened in the previous pages, and then he said repost this, like, comment, share, save. So he's really encouraging engagement, which is actually the goal of every single post that you make. But with the carousel, this is the last one. If someone's got to this point, it's very likely that they are going to do one of these 4 things, and then that's when you really get the most value out of this carousel. You've established yourself as an authority, and now you've got them to share it to their network. So that was Richard's carousel, and you can see why it does so well. It's visually appealing. There's use of graphics, use of different font sizes, different effects, and different colors as well. And so you can incorporate all of that into your own carousels, but I don't want you to leave just yet. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly show you how to create your own carousels on LinkedIn so that you can achieve almost a similar effect to what Richard is, but over time you'll get a lot better to get that professionalism that he has, as well as having a team beside him that he can really leverage for his posts. So let me show you exactly how to do that. So you're going to want to go to Canva. Canva's free to use, and you can get the pro version, but you can still make a carousel with the free version. You're going to want to create an account, then you're going to want to click create a design in the top right, and then you're going to type in billboard. And you'll notice that when you do that, you're going to have this one that says billboard square, and it's 1080 by 1080 pixels. Once I do that, it's going to create a brand new template here that I can use. You'll see on the left that there's a whole bunch of different ones that you can already use for yourself to really guide you, but I encourage you to make a real simple one to start. I'm going to choose a color, then I'm going to choose some different text. This is how you do it. And once you've done that, you can add a whole bunch of different graphics and elements on the far left here. Really is so much opportunity using Canva to make whatever you want and however you want it to achieve. But what I want to show you is that you can add various pages which show different things. So for example, here on this page, I can have 1, this page I can have 2, and so on and so forth. And then once I've done that and I'm happy with my carousel, all I have to do is go to the top right where it says share, and then I'm going to click download here, and we'll want to do it as a PDF. So I'm going to show you why that's so important, but you're going to click all pages. You're going to make sure that's fine. Then you're going to click download. You can click this one where it says flatten your PDF to make sure that it downloads correctly if you're going to print this, but you're not going to print this, just going to upload it. So you're going to click download, and then what's going to happen is that it's just going to go into your folder, and then we can go back to LinkedIn. I can go to home page, and then once I click start a post, this is a test I'm going to write, But at the bottom here, you'll see it says add photo, add video, and then add a document. So adding a document is what we want, because then we're just going to upload the PDF and then it'll be able to be scrolled around. So I'll show you quickly how that looks like. You go straight here, you select it. So I selected the document and I've uploaded it, and you can see now it's exactly like how that LinkedIn carousel that Richard has looks like. So you can scroll and you'll be able to see visually at this point whether all of the graphics work nicely, if there's anything off-putting, and then you can add a descriptive title. And then once you click done, after you've added a title, then you'll see that it appears here with your text and with your carousel, and then you can click post and it's ready for the world. So that was how you can create a LinkedIn carousel for yourself. It's super easy. There's not a lot of effort that goes into the process of making it, but what really needs emphasis is the message you want to share and what kind of outcome you're going to give for the person, because that's when carousels tend to do the best. When someone will commit time to it, they'll share it because it's valuable, they'll like it, they'll engage it, ask questions. And so that's really what it's all about in this video. Thanks for joining. I really encourage you to go check out Richard Moore's profile, see what he's up to. He's always making great content about selling and LinkedIn and all the experiences that he's had. So I encourage you to do that, and I look really forward to the next one. Comment who you would like me to do a video on, and I'll definitely do that. Have a great one. Cheers.